There's only one thing designers love to hate more than Fiverr: AI. So we got ChatGPT to generate a design brief for an AI company and paid 3 Fiverr designers to create it. These comments are going to be wild. In my most viewed video, Fiverr seller A6 Designs shocked the world with this amazing logo design for Mindscape. So we've hired 3 more Fiverr designers, including A6 Designs, to battle it out. Who will win this time? The first one is Soft River, and he was only $133. More like Leonardo DiCaprio. This guy is unreal. He's from London. And have you seen the way that you can onboard clients now? He's got this cool video questionnaire thing.
Hi, welcome to Soft River. I'm Louis. I'm your logo designer, and I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions to know more about you, your company, to really create something unique that matches your vision. First of all, please let me know what's your name.
So instead of taking a type form, he's literally asking you questions in video form where you can write the answers. That is the coolest thing ever. Come on, Leonardo, let's see what happens. Okay, so I like the idea of having float, as in the literal sense of float being there. You can see it's kind of got the water, the idea of, you know, something floating on top of it. Now, the actual company for this is basically an AI assistant. So we've got to keep that in mind. It's got to look professional, but also creative to stand out. But if you want to read the full brief that we gave, check out the description below. So I like the idea of water being there, and your presentation style is good. I would like to see this on more mockups at the forefront. The problem is I don't know where the logo is gonna work all the time. So we tasked you for a logo type and an icon. This is the icon version, and I actually really dig this icon version. This one works pretty well. I'm pleasantly surprised. I think what I like most about this is its simplicity, but also its throwback to its actual logo type. Obviously, we're getting that idea of a gentle float. And a logo design isn't technically about the product, it's about the idea of the product. And I guess with this, he's done a great job creating this, especially with the icon. You've chosen this light blue color. I like that a lot. It works well. It shows trust. Fun little fact: a lot of banks rebranded after the 2008 crash. Some say they became blue because blue is a color that, psychologically speaking, makes you feel more trusting. In color psychology, it goes wild, but this one I like the blue in here. The black versions, the monochrome versions here, they work well too. This presentation here, I've got to be honest, isn't the best. I think if I was to present this design, I would want to present it full color all the time. This squiggle kind of, it makes it look like a tapeworm in this sort of setting. The actual logo type itself isn't bad. The font that you've chosen, if that is a font, I shouldn't really assume, works well. I wouldn't have presented it in this way at all. I think it cheapens the idea, but the market is there, and it is quite difficult. Without going cringe or too into the AI and robotic space, it can get quite cringe. I would have just toned this back a little bit because you've got a lot of numbers, and it makes me feel like a virus is attacking the actual company, and it makes me distrustful of it. I do like the little icon here though. That's like it's generic, but it's friendly and fun. Yeah, the background is annoying me a little bit, but I understand why you've done it. Now with this float thing here, it may have been better to just have float over the top of the F. Obviously this is done in 2 seconds, but an idea that I would have is, instead of having the float here in the middle and having to change color of it, would be to separate it out from the design and just underline it. You could even go quite playful with that idea. By using the touch type tool, we could make it kind of look like it's floating, but I think that gets a bit too silly and playful. I like the mock-ups that you're showing here. It's good. The icon itself is the strongest mark that you have. So just using this icon with float would work a lot better. It's just clean and it feels like AI too. People have this sort of design expectation when it comes to AI logos and other designs. It has to look clean, modern and crisp, unless you want it to go completely away from that, which is fine as well. So Soft River actually sent over another logo as well, which I think is a million times better. This one here, it is so friendly. Look at his face. He's got this kind of little icon going on in there, kind of floating up there. It kind of feels like a cloud. So instead of going for a more, literal sense of floating in an ocean, it's like floating in the air, floating in the cloud. You've taken the idea of it being a personal assistant as well, float to the actual AI It's designed to assist people, and you've humanized it in this cute little way. Makes it less threatening and more engaging. The logo type there again works really well. I'm not sure about this part here. If I were you, I wouldn't even bother. I would just keep this just like normal, because this little guy is super friendly, super cute. You can imagine him as like a little app icon too. It's got the right consistency around it. Yes, I really do like this one. This one's a lot better, so well done. You surprised me there. For $133, not bad at all. And plus, in case anyone wants to know, this is kerned correctly. It's kerned to my liking anyway. The second designer is the one that we've all been waiting for. A6. And he is no longer $135. He had to shoot his prices up to $500, which is great. Out of all these videos, I just hope that all of these logo designers that do well shoot their prices up. That's all I want for promotion, and to shoot their prices up. Okay, first impressions float. This is super clean. I like it. First of all, the way that A6 you present the work is like none other. You've got a real knack with presentation. This background here has the airiness that we're looking for in float, and you've chosen a very clean typeface for this, which I like. It's modern. It's got these terminals there, which are the parts at the end of the letter. Very straight. It's very readable. It just fits well. And you've got the icon in the O2, which I'm excited about. Okay, so this part here is showcasing the actual logo that A6 is given. You've got one logo and another one. So you've got sort of two there, which I kind of like. Two birds with one stone. It kind of looks like you've got two though in one, but we only need one. I would have been fine with just float there with this little icon in there. Kind of looks like a chat pin or like one of those geo pins that you have on maps. But this one here is kind of cutting edge. No, it's a terrible joke. I love the way that you presented this. An implementation of a negative space chat bubble in the logo type. I really like the effort that you've gone into this, especially showcasing and explaining your thoughts and processes. Having a story like this always helps people like me and everyone online see the work and go, yeah, that's good. This is the grid. It looks daunting, but it's actually quite simple, the grid there. He's just keeping all these lines in perfect harmony, making sure that this line works all the way through. The circles ensure the same roundness in the same area. Grids are there just to help things be consistent when it gets down to a small scale. So I do like this A6. It is good. I'm a bit confused as to why there's two logos in there too. I feel like I've cheated you a little bit because you've given me two to choose from. I like the idea of a chat bubble being in there, and I do like the idea of, I don't know what you would call this, the sort of spinning blades icon, but I think it could have gone with just either or. So I wouldn't have chosen two of them to be in there. I would have made these into two separate concepts. Look at the app icon there, look. So unreal. Look at the way he presents this. It's unreal, look at it. The background is so interesting. So here's A6's second concept. This one here, float. Now instantly, this looks a bit more gamery, and I see what you've done here. I don't personally like it. Let's get that out of the way. I prefer your first one, it's a lot cleaner. This one sure does have a bit more character to it, but it actually makes it look like it's for a younger audience. It reminds me a bit of Discord. Clyde, the little icon. That's not a bad thing. The icon and the way it's been designed is similar to actual logo type. So here you show us the little edges that you've taken away to keep it consistent with the icon there. I much prefer the original one. This one would be great for a younger audience or more of a game-centered app. But I do love the fact that we've got two concepts here that work really well. The third concept is even crazier, and it's amazing how many concepts you give. It's a bit more friendly and modern. I like that. We've got the chat bubble there again. So everything is based upon the chat. Now, the only issue that we have with this is it could look like a messaging service. This one's great, I like it, but it's not my favorite one. And you've wowed us even more. All of these icons though could work, technically. But your first one is probably the best. I do like this one for float. This one's like a nice cube that you've got going on there. All these explorations are insane. I love them. And moreover, the way that you present them is insane. So guys, what do you think? Mine obviously out of A6's work is the first one. It just is so clean. The next Fiverr designer is Tiago, and he was $740. So Tiago is a design studio, so they are a team of people. This looks interesting. We've got this sort of network. I think this was generated by AI. I can actually see it is based upon some of these transistors down here. Kind of looks a bit strange, but I get the idea. Okay, let's go straight to the logo. I like all the color stuff, but I want to see the logo. Oh wow, this is different. What I like is all the different concepts here, the way that people work. First impressions, it's a bit more GFX. By that, there's nothing wrong with that. It just feels a bit more metallic. It feels less personable. And the reason why, it's got very hard edges. It's an F in the shape of basically a motherboard is what I'm trying to assume, or like a chip, which I like. I like the concept of it. The color is different as well. I would have thought of a blue personally, but I guess the pink kind of works too. The logo type, yeah, I like the way that it works down here. This way makes it look very much like a gamer logo, like kind of like FaZe Clan or something like that, which is not what we're looking for with a professional artificial intelligence app. However, I do like the icon the way it is presented. If we were to round them off, it might look cooler. So the logo for Float, an advanced AI chatbot. Modern, seamless personalized communication, and NLP algorithms. I see, so you've gone full tech on this, which is great. I think having this idea too works well. However, I would have liked to have seen something that was a bit more personable towards the end consumer. And depending on that end consumer, which is generally people who are used to using cutting edge technologies and apps, I don't think the logo is not appropriate. I think it works, but it does seem overtly aggressive. Sharp lines, it looks like knives and blades. Completely different to having a bit more of a bubbly personality. And I think a lot of the times nowadays we see people who are scared of AI and using it as it could replace some folk. So keeping that in mind, it would have been cool to see it a bit more rounded. But I do like the idea here. This one here I like more. This second version is cool. You've got the F in there in an abstract form, and it feels like it's making connections. I like that. It feels like it's branching off and replicating itself, which is also quite scary. It's fine. The only problem is here with the F being, it looks like you're saying loat or gloat in some way, but I see the F, it works. As an icon, this works nicely as well. It's very balanced. Yeah, this does look cutting edge and I prefer this one. I think content number 2 from Tiago is the better one out of the two. If I was to create a logo for this, which maybe I will do, let me know in the comments down below if you want to see a video of me doing that. I may have gone for a more friendly approach, seeing how it's supposed to be a personal assistant. However, there are people out there who love cutting edge technology. They're gadget geeks like me who don't mind, who want that feeling of professional, hard-edged cut. So all those logos were really interesting. I would like to know your favorite one. I think my favorite one is by A6 Designs, just because of the way that he's presented it. He showed many concepts, although he had a very strong concept at the start. But what I'm most interested in seeing is if AI can design this logo better than the real designers.
Controversy means viewers.
To do this, I'm going to give ChatGPT the brief and ask it to give us back a prompt that we can give to DALL-E in the hopes that DALL-E gives us a good logo design. So all that ChatGPT seems to be doing here is saying the same things the designers have already done. So it looks quite promising. So let's go into DALL-E and see what happens when we put this AI generated prompt in. I don't know why I was so nervous. I mean, this probably wasn't the best way to get a logo out of AI, but I think we're okay. It's obvious you can't get a very good logo out of AI this way. You need real human designers. Before I end the video, I just want to tell you for 20 seconds about some very exciting personal news. I have a logo design course coming out, and it's something I've been working on for a very long time, and I'm so excited it's finally here. Everything was created in-house, from the website to the visuals to the filming and the edits, and I've loved the ability to go into as much detail as possible about logos, and in particular logo type design. So if you want to join me on this, I would love to have you part of it. It launches September 8th. The link will be down below. It's called Logo Launch. Make sure you also check out the Fiverr sellers linked in the description, and thanks again to Fiverr for sponsoring this video. It's been really fun and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. My favorite is our reigning champion A6 with that first concept, but I'd love to hear which one you like the best. And if it's the AI one, then you're wrong. If you haven't seen the video where A6 totally blows everyone's expectations out of the water, then click here to watch that now. Have a great day and I'll catch you in the next video. Subscribe on the way out.